I believe that there are definitely some benefits to attending a preschool program prior to entering kindergarten and early grade levels. I do not believe the benefits are constantly touted about the universal preschool lasting throughout their educational career are necessarily true. One could say that attending a preschool better prepares a child for transitioning to kindergarten and early elementary school grades. Being integrated with many other children in a social environment is probably one of the best benefits that a child will see from attending preschool. They will get a start on their numbers, shapes, colors, and letters, which will definitely provide a platform for them to enter kindergarten, already able to identify things. However, the facts that people state in advocating universal preschool, that there are benefits that last into their adolescent and to adult lifehood, are either inconsistent with the findings or being generalized to include everyone where research findings do not apply. Some of these studies are used to advocate the advantages of universal preschool are high-scope Perry project, studies of 123 low black income children in the 1960s in Michigan. The project at the University of North Carolina in the 1970s, tracking 111 low-income black children. And in the 80s, there was 1,500 low-income children in Chicago in a 1980 study. The first thing that should have been immediately apparent is that all of these studies have targeted mainly minorities and low-income families. None of these results from these studies have been shown replicated with advantages to middle-class families or upper-class families. An analogy for this would be that we take all children who are significantly below the norm, and with those children make remarkable educational progress, so they are now part of the norm. Then yes, they have benefited. However, taking the same process with those that are already at the norm, they do not make any higher progression. Also, most of these studies suffer from a very small sample size. There is a reason the sample of children used is quite small, because many of these programs that the children were a part of spent significant more money per child than an amount of current or future universal preschool plans would allow. The high-scope Perry preschool project that tracked the progress of 123 low-income black families and children, when we adjust for inflation now, was around $19,000 per year per student. Most programs that we will be expanding will only be able to receive about $6,000 per student for a one-year program. Of all the studies performed, only the high-scope Perry preschool project showed the benefits and gains that are being touted. The idea that adults have attended a high-quality preschool program were making more using less welfare assistance, had less arrests, less dropouts in later education, and being able more likely to compete and complete college come from the universal studies that, however, show early intervention programs are imposed upon a child that have some negative effects. One study by Leslie compared children who attended an academic-focused preschool with those who had attended a developmentally appropriate program. Although there were no academic differences between the two groups, the children attending the academic program were more anxious and had lower self-esteem. I do not believe that there are enough benefits to warrant the cost for universal preschool. In my previous videos and points discussing the topic, all the benefits that are being touted are generalized to a larger population of students than what was originally being studied. The Head Start program, which is our current program in place, provides preschool and family-based programs for young children, has had many studies made to measure its success. The Head Start Impact Study, HSIS, was sponsored by the Administration for Children and Families in the Department of Health and Human Services. 3- and 4-year-old children across 23 states that were applying for entry into Head Start. This study had a control group that consisted of a mix of children that were either in another preschool program or had no preschooling at all. Nearly half of the control group children were enrolled in other preschool programs. The study measured all 4 Head Start program goals: cognitive development, social emotional development, health status, and access to health care, and parenting practices, relative to the children in the control group. Head Start participants showed positive effects in numerous cognitive skills during their Head Start years. These improvements did not carry into kindergarten or later years. Few outcomes showed significant improvements in later grades and academics. There was inconsistencies in the positive effects that were seen across the 3 and 4-year-olds. Inconsistencies that made it difficult to make general assumptions to the success of Head Start. So it seems that we are assuming that the cost-benefit from investing in all children will work. The studies used to show these benefits either strictly target minority and low-income families or do not show significant gains that would seem worth it. Rather not assume and cast a broader net and spend more money across a wider range of children, we should discuss and come up with more targeted programs and systems to help those that are in need more, that would benefit the most from them, that we can invest more per child rather than spread it out. The question is a bit difficult to answer. There is little evidence to show that one-year program for 4-year-olds will prepare them to succeed in their educational career later on in life, let alone enter a high-tech economy. While there will continue to be advancements in the realm of education, expecting a 4-year-old to retain what is learned in the preschool and see it last until they actually are old enough to enter this ever-changing economy is very difficult. They will learn to interact with people as they would at a job, but you're not going to see the same kind of statistical things things that are being touted with how they're going to do so much more if they go to preschool or if they don't, or if they go to a quality preschool or if they don't. That's the problem, is we should have more quality preschools and not just spend all the money around everything. We need to figure out which preschools aren't doing well, focus on them, get better teachers in those schools, and make those quality teachers make the children smarter, let the teaching evolve and let teachers talk to other teachers so they can build on things and that they can make pre-kindergarten better across the board. We don't need to throw money at it, we need to throw quality teachers at it. And that's the money, that's what money should be spent on. The quality teachers, lower students per teacher classrooms so you can have individualized education, and stricter goals for people that want to become early educators.